Good morning, Sunday the 7th of January 2018. Hope you've had a good holiday. Let's continue the struggle throughout 2018. Personally, I write a few letters to people, and I'm going to be reading some previous ones out as we go along, but I think I've got to start with my latest one. Starts out here. Donald Trump. Say it loud, say it clear. Donald Trump is welcome here. He retweeted Jada Franson, which is in a time of universal deceit. Telling the truth becomes a revolutionary act. Well, my little revolutionaries. This is just my latest letter that went out this week. I write this letter while waiting for the police service of Northern Ireland to arrest me for a historically accurate speech I made in Belfast on the 6th of August 2017. It's available to view on my YouTube channel, which this will be posted on. I'll try and learn how to put the links in. Since President Trump retweeted Britain First, my state has unleashed all its Stalinist force on every speaker at this anti-terrorism rally to prevent the truth from coming out. In particular, the PSNI insists on dragging all accused persons to Belfast in order to put us in front of a non-jury court manned by activist judges. I pose the question, if our offences were so egregious, why has it taken 5 months for the police to act? It is vital to learn the lessons of history from biblical times through Plato to the Romanticists and Marx. Humanity has craved utopia. Unfortunately, when you ignore Aristotle's reality, these utopias inevitably result in murderous tyrannies. Today, the West's political and educational system has been infested with a postmodernist / Marxist utopianism, to the extent that Comrade May, Theresa May, wants to progress down the Marxist utopian path led by the Marxist extremists of Sinn Féin, Scottish nationalists, Unite Against Fascism and Hope Not Hate, all wrapped up in the communist politically correct cloak of equality, diversity and tolerance. Theresa May stares into the communist utopian tyrannical abyss at every turn. Be it on the opposition benches, in our universities, churches, or the incestuous Marxist snake pit of fake news, namely our media, including the British Bullshit Corporation. That's a lot of words in here. Despite having a copy of the James Damore Google memo, which I sent Theresa May and 5 senior government ministers, Comrade May continues to march the West's economy down the insanity hole called the gender pay gap. A previous tilt at equity of outcome caused President Clinton to insist the banks alter their mortgage lending criteria, resulting in the subprime crisis, the international banking collapse, an 8-year recession and a looming debt crisis. When interest rates go up, everybody's buggered. Who do we owe this money to, by the way? Replacing highly intelligent, committed men with less intelligent random women, LGBT, BAM, for the sake of equity will destroy our economy, hurting us all, including women, LGBT and BEM. Any system that keeps the brightest and best out of any position is wrong. However, everyone should be free to make all the profit they are capable of, so we can tax them. The Marxist quest for equity has proven to be a genocidal failure, while capitalism has lifted humanity to a living standard undreamt of by previous generations. Being reviled and opposed by all the abyss-dwelling Marxists in Para 4 proves the James Damore Google memo should be thoroughly investigated to finally put to rest Cain's envy of success and Set's murderous quest for power. Further to this, the Muslim Brotherhood trained Edward Said debunked Samuel Huntington's Clash of Civilizations by deploying the Marxist tropes of racism, sexism and imperialism. This, coupled with the fiction that all religions are the same, blinds the West to the truth about Islam. While Jesus was all but a peacenik, Muhammad was a slave-trading, wife-beating, child-abusing, mass-murdering, expansionist, terrorist warlord. Just read the Islamic text and look at the news, you can see that Edward Said was wrong. The core texts of Islam create hell on earth. The Quran and Sharia impose a mind-numbing tyranny that outlaws alcohol, dancing, art, music, and any free thought or criticism. They indoctrinate their followers with a hatred of the other, kafirs. With no temporal rewards, Islam instills a longing for the promised eternal pleasures of the martyr's afterlife. Any person endeavouring to educate the populace about the dangers of Islam, as the dancing girls of Mecca were, are immediately branded as racist or Nazis and face a cruel oppression by every lever of my state. A state that, from the Home Secretary to the Prime Minister, deliberately ignores the violence inflicted on the homegrown populace, proving it to be a state that hates its own people. Bit difficult with this camera, but we have a picture of the English Defence League outside a courtroom, stood side by side with a Sikh opposing Muslim groomers. The English Defence League is not racist. Further to this, there is a copy or a screenshot of a tweet by Paul Weston. States, I have just received a letter from Sussex Police reference a Freedom of Information request on hate crime statistics broken down across race and religion. They tell me there is no provision for anti-white, anti-English hate crime, so cannot answer that particular question. Our state is recording everything we do and nothing that is done to us, proving it to be a state that hates its own people. Now I copied, at the end of this, it says, feel free to check my words with Dr. Bill Warner, Robert Spencer, Geert Wilders or Pamela Geller. By the way, all banned from the UK by Comrade May. Copied to President Trump, Theresa May, Tony Hall, who is the director of the British Bullshit Corporation, Damien Green MP, who just got sacked for the police vendetta against him with the porn on the computer. He also got a leaflet on common purpose. What are the odds on the police inspector retired being common purpose trained? Pretty high, I'd say. And David Davis MP, who is the minister in charge of Brexit, who is fully aware of the dangers of Islam, but does nothing about it. It's a craven coward. So, lots of words there. Probably go on an hour about every little word in it, and perhaps I will. But for now, that's the letter. Thank you. Goodbye.